my name is Brandon Tomlinson. I'm a counselor at CPS, and welcome to Mental Health Monday. I was really going for like an Alex Trebek vibe there, but I don't think I quite got it. Even so. So, welcome to Mental Health Monday. And this week, one of the things we'll be talking about is essentially love in a time of quarantine. So, how do I navigate being in quarantine, either away from or with my partner? We'll start with the away from, just because I'm guessing that might be more common, although we will touch on both. So with the quarantine, being separated from your partner, honestly, that's tough, right? Like, not being able to see them legally, that's difficult to be able to navigate that. That can put some strain on a relationship. So one of the things to think about is how you can maintain that connection well. And the first step in that is really something I like to call intentionality. And when I say intentionality, it's essentially what it sounds like. It's being very intentional about making space to connect with your partner. Now, what that can look like via distance with technology can be FaceTime, phone call, text, etc., etc. One thing to be considering within that is the normal spaces that you usually share where you are together, even if they were intentional in how they happen, like, hey, you want to come over, those aren't available, and that's just a natural connection point. So even if you're just studying together or things like that, you don't have that now. So one thing to be thinking about is, how can I make those spaces? How can I make sure I'm calling? How can I make sure I'm interacting with them? Another big piece of this will be communication. So communicating with them needs, communicating with them things that you're feeling, and communicating with them how you're doing with the relationship, just so that there's clarity and understanding of how you're feeling, how they're feeling, and being able to have that open line of communication. Another thing is encouragement, being encouraging in those relationships, sharing things verbally that you might have shared either physically or tangibly, like gifts or things like that, but sharing things verbally that you can't communicate in other ways, because you think about it, communication is very much more than just what we say. But right now, a lot of what we're limited to is what we say. So thinking through, okay, I'm going to share this encouragement with my partner. I'm going to tell them, I really was glad that we were able to talk today, or communicating your affection more thoughtfully and more straightforwardly. And if you are quarantined with your partner, communication is still going to be the big thing, keeping in mind that this is an abnormal time, this is unprecedented, and so making sure that you know that there are anxieties that are affecting you and affecting them, and giving yourself some giving yourself some space, and giving them some space, and giving yourself patience when dealing with both your partner and yourself, and understanding that this is abnormal, and knowing that it's going to take time to adjust, and we may never get fully adjusted to this, but it's going to take time to get into at least some kind of a rhythm. I know you think it's been a long time already. Well, yeah, but this is so far from normal life, and making sure that you're communicating, you're being patient, and you are being encouraging. Those are going to be the three big things insofar as dealing with quarantine relationships. And then that fourth piece, if you are in a distant relationship right now by virtue of social distance relationship, being very intentional about your communication, and being very thoughtful about communicating those things that you might not have communicated as directly before. So with that, thank you for listening. I hope that was somewhat helpful. Have a good Monday, and happy relationshiping.